Hello goat lovers, Crystal here with Blue Cactus Dairy Goats, and we are getting really close to breeding time this year. So today I'm getting 19 does ready. They all need to be wormed and I need to trim all of their hooves. The first doe that wanted to come up on the stand today was Lily here, so we're going to get her feet trimmed, and we also do have to give her a shot of wormer, so I'll show you guys that also. But yeah, so let's get her hooves trimmed. Now, trimming hooves is something that we do all the time around here, just to make sure that they have a really strong foundation. If their feet are bad, if their hooves are bad, then they're uncomfortable, they're walking uncomfortable, and literally the whole rest of their body can start falling apart and give them other pains in their shoulders and their legs, and it's just not good. So you always got to keep up on the hooves. All right, so let's see, Lily. Lily has really good feet, but you can see where it's starting to overgrow just a little. So we are looking to just flatten that out, guys. Always remember to take just a little bit at a time, because you can always take more, but you can't put it back. No, girl. So you can get a little bit of her heel to even that out. Okay, that looks good. Hold on, girl. Oh, Lily. All right, so that's good. Now, these, it really doesn't matter if you trim them or not. I think it looks better when you trim them because they just continually grow. And sometimes they will flake off, but sometimes they get really long. And just be careful when you're doing this too. You don't want to go too deep. Hold on, girl. We're almost done with one foot. There we go. Okay. Now I just have hundreds more to do. So for the back feet, because they really don't like their back feet more than the front feet and they want to kick, I just kind of grab it like so, so that you have control over it when they do kick, and when they start kicking, just don't let go, because then they think they're going to win every time. Just kind of wait it out. Lily, she's already trying it. Okay, let's get this going. They're not usually quite such stinkers about it, the girls anyway, but...
The girls.
The girls. You just have the prettiest feet, Lily. Lily gets these gorgeous feet from Lacey. Nope. And the dogs always like to walk around underneath it when I'm trimming the hooves and eat the little hoof pieces. Huh, Anna? You think you're getting a little treat? Lily, you're being kind of a stinker, girl. You'll be done here soon. Nope. Nope. No. You're not gonna beat me, Lily. You have to listen. Nope. Oh, stop. Almost done, you stinker. One more hoovy, girl. Hold on. Oh, they're not too bad on this side. There we go. Now I just have 72 more hooves to trim, so it should be fun.
Did you know that Blue Cactus Dairy Goats makes homemade goat milk soap? And right now you can get free shipping on all domestic orders over 50 bucks.
All right, so Dreamer here wants to be our model to let you guys see how we give our wormer. Now, I always worm before we breed. I just want to make sure that they are free of any worms before they start breeding, because if they get worse or anything when they're pregnant, you can't really worm them. It's not a good idea anyway. Of course, you're always going to err on the side of the doe, but it could harm the babies because it is poison. And this is the wormer that I use. It works really, really good for internal and external parasites. So it's always been really good to me in my herd, and I've never had any issues. And they don't make a lot of stuff for goats, believe it or not, but this is for cattle and swine, and I always give the swine dose, which is 1 cc per 75 pounds. Here it's real dry. We don't have a lot of issues, well, when it's not monsoon, but we don't have a whole bunch of issues with worms and stuff because it's not a real wet climate, but you can give up to 3 times that dose. So just depending on your herd and where your climate is, you might want to alter that dose just a little bit. Okay, so you're gonna need a sterilized syringe that obviously can hold at least, 1 cc. And a sterilized needle also. Now this is 20 gauge. 20 gauge works really, really well. It's a 1-inch 20 gauge needle. And for the does, pretty much every gauge I use on the does is going to be the 20. But if you get something really, really thick, you might need an 18 gauge, which is what I typically use on the bucks because they have just thicker skin and it just gets in there a lot easier. But for our wormer, again, a 20 gauge and on the does is perfect. Okay, you're obviously going to make sure that you get the injection site very, very clean with alcohol and a cotton ball. Kill any potential germies. And where I give the shot is just kind of in right here behind their elbow. So in this little flap of skin here. And it is also sub-Q, meaning it's just in the skin, it's not in the muscle. How you doing, girl? Dreamer. She knows what's about to happen. Alright, so again, we want just to pull that skin out, and we're going to put the needle just straight down. And then we're going to shoot it in there. So if you see this needle, you want the longer part of the needle to be against the skin. Alright, here we go. And this wormer burns just a little bit. Some does take it harder than others. So I just rub. It's all right, girl. Rub. Oh. You okay? so Dreamer is done. We're gonna put her back and go get another doe. She's a good girl. Come on, you can go out to pasture now, okay? Thank you, girl. Come on, cutie. Look at this stand. Do you remember it? She's like, heck yeah, I do. Ugh. Pretty girl. Alright, Mayo, let's see if you can be a good girl. Mayo has been on one. She's definitely going through a heavy heat cycle right now. But, so there's not a whole lot of maintenance, really. As long as you keep up on your herd always, it's definitely a bad idea right before you start breeding to think, oh, I guess they should get their minerals now, or they should get, you know, their selenium now, or anything like that. Oh, maybe their hooves should be trimmed now. You got to really just keep up on it throughout the whole year, and there's not much to get ready for it. So my issue is that I have so many goats, so that's why it takes me so long. As far as their diet is concerned, because I do get that question too, do you do anything special with their diet before they're ready to breed? And no, we just feed them healthy the whole time and give them, you know, choice alfalfa pellets. We use a Nutrina 17% textured feed as well, and they get Boss or black oil sunflower seeds. So they get that every single day. It's keeping their coats really, really super clean, really, really perfect. And another thing too, if you have a doe that's underweight, you should not breed a doe that is underweight. A bag of bones or anything like that, because that's going to just take a lot out on her. So maybe feed them extra if they're looking a little too skinny. Mayo here definitely has a little extra fleshing. she's a little thick, but that's okay if they're a little thick right before you breed. Just not excessively thick, because then they might not get bred. So it is just kind of a keep an eye on them and fluctuate as their weight fluctuates, but Mayo here is perfect. And again, breeding really takes a lot out on the herd too, just simply because they're all fighting, they're all so angry and just cranky, and it is what it is. So once they start breeding, once they get put into the breeding pen, they will lose a little more weight just because they're in with the buck,
And they're running around away from the buck half the time?
yeah, and they sometimes they'll run from the buck. But, and in addition to that, you know, they're making babies. So they need the extra little bit of flesh. You know, it definitely doesn't hurt them, for sure. So, and then, of course, once they get their milk in, that will slim them down again, because they're making all that milk, especially in the beginning. Okay guys, so 3 goats down, and we have a lot more to go, so I'm gonna get on that, and hopefully it only takes us another couple more hours so that I still have time to make some soap today. Before we get into making our soap today, you guys, I just had some really awesome news to share with you. So the lab just emailed me the last milk test results, and once everything is completed, the 240 days in milk and the next 2 tests, you guys, it will be official, and all of the does every doe out there is going to have their star. So that is just so exciting to me. And their butterfat is out of this world. So, okay, so all the does that didn't already earn their star and the does that have already have got enough butterfat already with just the 6 tests. So they have earned their stars on butterfat, and in addition, most of them have earned it on protein. So most of the herd, by the time I'm done, is going to have it at least on their butterfat and protein. So that is so exciting. So I just wanted to share that with you guys and let you know also, Tippy is no longer #1 in butterfat. However, she is 9.7, and that's just out of this world, right? So, but we got 2 that are at 9.9. So Miss Dinky and Miss Bessie, they are the highest butterfat right now. So just really cool. Dreamer is also at 9.7. We got Lodi at 9. We got Abilene at 8.2. Cassie's at 9.2. So, I mean, and nothing is under 7. So that is really high butter fat. I'm so proud of my girls. Okay, so I just wanted to share that before we get into the soap. Speaking of goat milk soap and those lovely, lovely doughs with their high butter fat, so today we are going to make our cucumber mint bar. This bar is one of our best sellers. It's hard to keep on the shelves and there's good reason for it. It is so refreshing and just so moisturizing. You guys will love, love, love this bar if you haven't already tried it. So this bar has a little bit of French green clay in it. And it also has a little bit of organic peppermint essential oil. So it's just a really, really great bar, you guys. It's super refreshing, super hydrating. Again, if you haven't tried it, you're going to love this bar. So let's get making it. So the method to make this bar is a little bit different than the method you guys have been seeing me melt. A lot of my soaps are made with what's called the milk and oil method, where I just, you know, the milk is not frozen, I pour it into the oil. But there is also another method, depending on the soaps that I make, that we do use the frozen milk. So this particular recipe has the frozen milk cubes, and it also has frozen cucumber cubes. So the cucumber cubes, what I do actually is I will grind up, blend in my Ninja, like really, really finely, the cucumbers with the skin on. That way you get that pretty green color, and then it gets strained. So, and then we just freeze them, because if you don't freeze it, it could very well the lye could actually burn the cucumbers. So that's why I freeze them. But anyway, so here are our cubes, and then we're going to add lye to this. Just slowly, the powdered lye, and then we'll stir it. But we're not going to get to that until we get our oils ready. That way, once this is ready, we'll just pour it in, blend it, and we're done. So here's our oils. And as I mentioned, I'm using French green clay here. And then we're also going to add just a little bit of our organic peppermint oil. All right, so let's get this party started, guys. Put in the peppermint and the clay. If I don't have the lye in already, I don't bother with adding a little bit of extra oil to it, just simply because I can blend as long as I want. It's once the lye goes in that it's going to start thickening up on me. Look at me, I'm not forgetting. So, let's get this blended. Give it a little stir. We should be perfect. Okay, so I'm going to put this to the side, and then we're going to start melting these cubes with the lye. Now, we're just going to add a little at a time. Not like a tiny bit or anything, but you want to make sure that you don't put it all in there. And you just, especially at first, just be real careful. Don't be flipping lye around. Just kind of folding it, really. But you'd be very surprised at how quickly it starts melting. Now, it's also important to know, like, if you are using this method, you don't want to just freeze your cubes for, you know, like a half a day or as soon as they're frozen. The longer you can wait, the actually better it is for it, because then they're just getting a lot harder, a lot more cold for this process. So, and when I do the water lye, it gets really, really hot, but I do not use it until the lye becomes room temperature. But see, it's already melting. And we're just gonna do this until all the lye is dissolved and all of the cubes are melted. Okay, so now we just need to bring our oils, and I'm going to give this another little blend just real quick in case any of the clay fell to the bottom. Okay, we're good. Just gonna slowly pour this lye in over the side so it doesn't splash. Get the rest out. Perfect. And now we blend. Okay, just gonna give it a little stir and start blending. It doesn't have to be super thick or anything. I need it to pour into the molds perfectly and lovely. So here we go. It's such a pretty color, you guys. Just something about natural colors. Earth tones, they're my thing. Perfection. That is going to start setting up very, very quickly, but it's probably going to be about 5 minutes before I can actually top it. So we will top it here in just a bit. It looks, I'm jiggling it, and it looks to be set up enough for my topping. And you don't want it to set up too much or it won't look right. But it's just super, super simple. I'm literally going to take the spoon across the top and just kind of sway it back and forth. I wanted a real subtle topping for this particular bar, and this spoon here achieves it. So let's do it. Huh? Just like that. There we go. Check her out. I love this soap. It smells heavenly, and it's just great on your skin. So again, try this one out, you guys. But other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. We still got a lot of work to get done around here, and I'm gonna get to it, but I will see you guys again soon.